Ford just axed the Explorer Hybrid from the public market, but it's not for the reasons that you might expect. Normally, when a company stops production for a car, it's because it's losing the money. But in the case of the Explorer Hybrid, it's being cut from the market because it's too popular. Particularly with one section of the market, the cops. That's right, the boys in blue are so obsessed with this car that they're buying literally every model that comes off the production line. In this video, we'll explore exactly why the 5.0 are so obsessed with this model and what it could mean for the Explorer. So, let's take a look, shall we? So, the news that the 2024 Explorer Hybrid won't be publicly available actually came from an interview with Ford Product Communications Director Mike Levine just a few days ago. And during it, he said the following: "To meet continued strong demand for the Ford Police Interceptor utility hybrids and other Ford hybrid vehicles, the 2024 model year Explorer will only be offered with the fuel-efficient 2.3-litre four-cylinder EcoBoost, which offers up to an EPA-estimated 24 miles per gallon combined fuel economy, and the 3-litre EcoBoost V6. Those two engines account for the majority of Explorer sales. So, what Mr. Levine is essentially saying here is that Ford simply cannot keep up with both the demand from the general market and the police force. And so, they're ditching the general market to ensure the police get first dibs. Naturally, the next question you've probably got in your head right now is why on earth the cops love this car so much? I mean, it's not exactly like the Explorer is an Italian thoroughbred V12 that can reach 60 in the blink of an eye and catch up with any bad guy who tries to escape justice, right? Well, to answer this question, we've got to bring ourselves back down to earth a little bit. Just think about it for a second. What do police officers spend most of their time doing? Chasing criminals? Assisting the Avengers? No, the answer is much less exciting. The majority of a police officer's job is spent, drumroll please, sitting in a car and waiting. That's right. In fact, a recent report actually showed that a police car spends up to 60% of its on-duty time simply idling, with officers standing ready if something were to go down. And when you look at the reality of the job, the choice of a hybrid like the Explorer makes complete financial sense. This hybrid model massively increases the engine's efficiency during idling periods, because the hybrid battery can power general amenities like the radio, climate control, and computer. Over the course of the year, the use of the Explorer will total about $3,500 per year in fuel savings, assuming fuel costs $2.75 per gallon. We don't know the exact number of hybrids in the police force's lineup, but even if it's as little as 1,000, that's still $3.5 million in savings every single year. And beyond these cost-saving advantages, the Explorer Hybrid is a pretty attractive option for the police force. For one, the Explorer is no slouch. With 318 horses under the hood, 322 pound-feet of torque, and instant acceleration from that electric motor, the Explorer feels more like a muscle car than an SUV. And it'll be able to keep up with the majority of perpetrating vehicles on the road. And during a test back in 2020, the Explorer was able to hit 137 miles per hour comfortably, only being outrun by two sedans, the Dodge Charger 5.7-litre Hemi, which topped out at 149 miles per hour, the Dodge Charger 3.6-litre, which reached 141 miles per hour, and one police vehicle, the Ford PR Utility with a 3-litre EcoBoost engine, which hit 150 miles per hour. And that was with the 2020 model. If tests were carried out with the 2023 variant, I'm sure the numbers would be even more impressive. The Explorer is extremely comfortable at high speeds too, thanks to a minimal body roll, incredibly responsive steering, and stiff suspension. A lot of police chases occur in smaller and tighter areas that favor these stats, rather than open roads where speed is the only factor, so it's key that the Explorer can handle this kind of driving. Durability is another key consideration for the police. I mean, it's great having a car that can go 200 miles per hour, but if it breaks down every 5 minutes, it's quickly going to feel more like a liability than an asset. Well, just like the majority of Ford's lineup, the Explorer excels here, and it's more than capable of keeping up with the police's requirements of 16 to 24 hours of use per day, making it a perfect workhorse. The police force doesn't keep the Explorer at stock though, and there are plenty of small yet incredibly effective upgrades that make the hybrid even more capable on the road. For one, the brakes on all models are swapped out for heavy-duty police-grade calipers, which can bring the Explorer from a hurtling blur of blue to a halt in a matter of seconds. The tires, suspension and steering are also fine-tuned for increased maneuverability. But perhaps most interestingly, Ford also specially designed an intelligent all-wheel drive system for police use. Essentially, this thing will calibrate during high-pressure pursuits to give the driver the best allocation of power and grip to ensure optimum performance. On the inside, there's room for body armor on the seats, holsters for shotguns, and utility belts for added protection. The standard infotainment system also gets swapped out for a police console and radio system. Even the programming controls for the engine are unique and allow officers to charge the battery when it's running flat to ensure there's always ample power available. However, the Explorer is far from a perfect choice, and there are a few sticking points that may cause you to question why the boys in blue love this vehicle so much. For one, the hybrid variant isn't actually the fastest Explorer off the line. Sure, it's no slouch and can get to 60 miles per hour in under 8 seconds, but the ST and Platinum trims, which use a 3-liter twin-turbo V6, can get there in 5.3 seconds. When you need to keep up with the likes of American muscle cars that can shred the open road, those couple of seconds could be the difference between catching and losing a criminal. What's more, the hybrid Explorer isn't even that efficient for a hybrid. Ford says it'll average between 23 and 27 miles per gallon in the city and 24 to 28 miles per gallon on the highway. Considering that the key consideration of this choice was for the fuel-saving advantages, you can't help but think they could have gone for a more efficient car. But by far the biggest pitfall is that the Explorer isn't addressing the massive problem the US police are facing right now, which is the fact that they can't keep up with cheap and accessible muscle cars like the Dodge Charger and Challenger. We've explored this issue much further in a previous video, but if you haven't watched it, all you need to know is that there are a scary number of cases where a criminal was able to get away from the police simply because the standard fleet of police cars couldn't keep up with the speed and power of their muscle car. This calls into question the motivation for the use of the Explorer in the police force. Is it to catch more bad guys or to save the department money? There are definitely arguments on both sides, but in our view at least, we can definitely see why the Explorer is being used so heavily. Sure, it has its problems, but on the whole, it's an excellent choice for police use. For one, the Explorer is one of the fastest cars in the Interceptor lineup right now, and only the likes of the Dodge Charger Pursuit could keep up with it. And on the road, it's only those couple of Charger and Challenger models that may be able to get away. Literally every other commercial car won't be quick enough. Couple this with awesome handling, that excellent practicality and money-saving advantages, and it's easy to see why the Explorer is such an attractive choice for the police force. It's not just the Explorer though. The police have been adopting yet more and more hybrid models in the last couple of years for the advantages they may bring. For instance, the Lincoln Aviator Hybrid has been adopted by multiple police departments, so much so that it's being axed to the public in 2024. There are also thoughts that the Ford F-150 Hybrid may be adopted as a new member of the fleet. They're even adopting a few fully electric vehicles like the 2024 Chevy Blazer EV, which produces an eye-watering 557 horsepower and can get to 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. The Mustang Mach-E is also being tested as a police car as we speak. The Fremont Police Department even transformed the Tesla Model Y into a police vehicle in 2021, and it's still in use today. Ultimately, the move from gasoline interceptors to hybrid and electric alternatives is clear to see, and it's also clear to see why they're doing it. Hybrids are quicker, more efficient, and importantly, cheaper for the police force to run. With the popularity of the 2023 Explorer, it does mean that people like you and me aren't going to be able to experience the 2024 hybrid. But considering who's getting dibs, is the sacrifice worth it? To put it lightly, absolutely. The police deserve the best of the best, and if that happens to be the 2024 Explorer, then they should receive every single one that comes off the production line.